Good afternoon. Okay, last time I believe we discussed phonology and phonetics, and I think you are all familiar with the concepts under those two linguistic branches, no, na atong na-discuss. And then I'm also assuming that the symbols under phonetics, under phonology were discussed, and I am hoping nga na-memorize yun ninyo tanan, because again, those are the symbols that we should memorize, and phonetics and every branch of linguistics should be some sort of our Bible, no? Kumbaga, sa English majors. Now, we are under Module 3, and this one is part of our pre-final. It's the only branch of linguistics that we will talk about in this period, in this pre-final nato nga period. Okay, morphology basically is one of the important and hardest part to learn, aside from syntax, aside from phonology. Di ba naglisod mo sa symbols pag memorize? It's very difficult to get into details what those symbols mean and how those symbols sound and what sounds they reproduce. And sa Module 3, morphology, this talks about the word structure. Take note ha, morphology, Module 3 na to, talks about the word structure. Ang structure mismo ng isa ka word and the series of the compositions of words. Now, sa morphology na to nga Module 3, we have two lessons. First, we will talk about morphemes and inflections. And the lesson 2 is the word formation processes, how words are formed, basically. And we shall finish these two lessons karon lang nga meeting. Okay? Now, sa lesson 1, our lesson learning outcomes, or our very specific objectives in this specific lesson, you have to analyze morphologically word structures. Okay? Word structures, as I said, is the main concern of morphology, to identify thoughtful units of the language. Differentiate linguistic terms in morphology, free versus bound, derivational and the inflectional, and etc. Okay? And lastly, apply morphological and inflectional knowledge into practical context. Basically, all the specific details of morphology, ma-learn nato na siya karon, and especially concept-based ta. Okay? Concept-based. Kailangan mag-grasp yun ang concept. Sige. Let's go directly sa atong explore section. Okay. So, the philosophical question starts, no? What is morphology? As defined, morphology is the study of internal structure. Internal structure. Mismong itsura ng words. Okay? Internal structure of words and forms a core part of linguistic study. All of the linguistic branches are the core parts of the general definition of linguistics. But morphology, again, deals with words. Okay? And we have to memorize each detail here. Now, the term morphology, etymologically speaking, no, is Greek and is a make-up of morph, meaning sa morph, shape, or form. And ang ology, of course, the study of something. So, morphology is the study of the structure or word structures. So, these are the pillars, no? Characteristics of a word. Characteristics of a word. A word is composed of lexeme, syntactic word, and orthographic word. Don't worry, I will send this copy sa atong Facebook group para mastudihan yun ninyo, especially sa upcoming exam. A word has, again, lexeme. Lexeme means the root word mismo. Okay? Ang root word ng isa ka word mismo. Uninflected ang tawag pag wala pa nasagol nga mga morphemes. Later, masabtanan ninyo. Uninflected, wala pa nasagol. Root word lang yun siya. Okay? Ang root word nga take, that's the word itself. Lexeme ang tawag, basta root word. Maunay timan eh. Okay? Always remember, when we say lexeme, it is the root word. Now, syntactic word is the inflected one. Inflected, what do we mean by that? Inflected, na change, nasagulan ng another morpheme or another set of letters constituting sa words. Okay. Inflected, example, from the word nga lexeme, take, no? Root word, the bare word nga take, nahimo siya takes, nag-add kita ng S. Inflected na kay na-add naman, dyan ay ni-add. Okay? There's something na morpheme, what we call morpheme, na-add sa root word. Syntactic word na siya. Inflected na siya. Always be familiar with the terminologies here. Okay? Pag uninflected, walay nasagol. Pag inflected na gani, just like infected, no? Na-infect na siya, but not negatively. Inflected meaning na anay sagol. Okay? From take, takes, nahimo ng took, nauto na ang structure ng word. Okay? Taken, taking. Dili na siya takes lang or take lang. No. Just like sa root word. And always remember also that each word has this important characteristic known as the orthographic word. Orthographic word, simply put, mao na siya ang spelling or ang word root yun mismo. Orthography means the spelling of words. Okay? Na ay yun designated nga spelling or orthography ang kada word. Okay? Now, all of these three characteristics, dili na siya, one cannot go and cannot live without the other. Dapat naagyud na sila. Okay? For example, ang word nga take, sometimes na ay root words or lexeme nga uninflected lang yun siya. Later, ma-discuss sa examples. But there are those syntactic words, pag mag-add ka ng S to pluralize, mag-add ka ng ED as a past tense or as a past form, and orthographic word, spelling. All spelling lang yun siya. Mo lang na yung concern. Now, morphemes, we will talk about this. Ang akong gi-mention kagaya nga morphemes, no? Sa phonology, di ba, we have the smallest meaningful unit of sound. And that's called? Nay, nakalimot na sila. Phoneme. The distinctive sound that we get, no? In each word, that's phoneme. That concerns sounds. We are talking about the structures of words. And here, we have the smallest meaningful units of language or words. Pinakagamay yun nga part sa words mo na morphemes. Not necessarily ang each letter, kay pinakagamay man ka, sir, so that means letter. No. Ang pinakagamay nga meaningful unit of words or language, which cannot be subdivided without losing their meaning. Words are composed of more than one morpheme. Let us have this example. Sa word nga teachers, how many morphemes do you think are there? Sa teachers? 3. Very good. Kaya naman. Nabungkag na. No? Because the lexeme of the word teachers is lexeme, root word of the word teachers. Teach, no? Mo na yung root word yun niya. Teach plus morpheme nga ER, teacher. Plus S nga morpheme, teachers. Unsa may kalahian, sir? How does it make sense if we study morphology? Okay. From the word nga teachers, one word, di ba, nasa dictionary. That's his orthography. That's its orthography. Teachers. Spell out yun siya and it exists again in dictionary. Ang root word is teach. Teachers, unsa man na siya nga syntactic or grammatical category. Asa man na siya nabilong sa parts of speech. Ang teachers. Noun. Very good. Noun. No? Teachers, noun na siya. And then, root word niya, ang to teach. Magtudlo lang. Magtudlo. Teach is what? Verb. Very good. Verb ang word nga teach. But then again, lain-lain ang grammatical category or nabilong sila sa lain-lain na parts of speech if we add or remove certain morphemes. Teachers, bungkago nato, from the word teach, verb na siya. Mag-add lang ka og ER, nganong na-noun man na. That's the beauty of morphology. Especially when we touch derivational morphology. More on of that later. Okay? And morphs also is what we call physical realization of morphemes. Diba sa phonology, we have the phones. No? We have the phone, ang mismong boses ng tao. No? Ang phone yun, imong mabatian. And in morphology, we have the morphs, the physical. This one, you see, these are the morphs. The physical representation or realization of morphemes. Kaning teachers, ang physical graphic representation ba? Ang tagsuyat nato, ang makita nato sa presentation right now, that's morphs. Sabtan. Okay. Let's proceed to the typology of morphemes. Typology of morphemes starting with the lexical morphemes. Ang lexical morpheme, also called as the open class words or morphemes, no? Ang open class words or lexical morpheme, these are the content words that have meaning. Tima niha? That have meaning or have a sense in and of themselves. Sige. Unsa may pasabot-an lang na ay meaning, sir, ng mga words. Timan nilang guys, kaning NAVA. Okay? Ang noun, adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. Okay? Pag moingon ko nga Northeastern Mindanao Colleges, that's a name of an institution, educational institution. And that has meaning. That has sense. Eskwelahan man na. Especially si Jose Rizal, no? Famous people, mga nouns, name of a thing, table. When you hear the word table, di ba? It has meaning. It has a sense. Therefore, ang noun, adjectives, you can give me any adjectives. Beautiful, na word, beautiful. Understandable, right? Ang word nga beautiful. And then, you can also say that the following grammatical categories nga NAVA, naagyud siya'y sense. Ang verb, to teach nga verb, for example, naay sense, naay meaning. Ang adverbs, not all adverbs na, kailangan mag-make sense, but ang adverbs, naapod na siya'y sense nga gi-provide. Basta timan ilang, pag navagane, naay sense, naay meaning. Meaningful ang word in and of themselves. Masabta na dayon nimo ang noun lang nga table. Table, it represents as something atong familiar. Asa ta mo kaon, asa ta mo sulat, ginagamit nato almost on a daily basis. Adjectives yung beautiful or ugly or cute, you decide kung asa mo nabilong. But the point here is ang NAVA, meaningful words gyud siya, na ay sense mismo. Let's proceed sa grammatical morphemes. Grammatical morphemes are also known as closed class. Closed class, functional words lang sila that really do not have meaning or sense in and of themselves. Instead, they express some sort of relationship between lexical morphemes, prepositions, like in, on, at. Unsay meaning ana? Diba? Unsay sense anang word nga on, at, in, under, below. Unsay sense ana? Unsay literal meaning ana nila? Linguistics, specifically morphology, says nga they only serve functional purpose. They are only there for some grammatical functions. Walay sense, but if we also add them to our words, no, our words would become appealing. Our words will become understandable. Now, they only express some sort of relationship between lexical morphemes. Diba, pag naapod ni, pag naa ni, perfect ang word. Grammatical siya. Okay? And then, wala sila'y sense. Mao na lang na ang ilang difference. That's the only difference. Nahay sense, nahay meaning, does not have sense. Does not have meaning. Although there are some argumentations nga na ay somehow meaning, pag-abot sa prepositions, articles. The, a, and an, no? Unsay meaning ana? Again, their purpose is for grammatical functions only. Sabtan. Sabtan? Now, conjunctions. Conjunctions, but, na word, for, or, yet, and so, for. Unsa man ang mga words, unsay meaning ana di ay? Di ba? Can you define unsay sense adto na mga words nga akong gipanghisgot? I don't think so. Because morphology says nga ang grammatical morphemes, again, they are just there to serve grammatical functions. Okay. Free morphemes can stand alone as words. Ang free morphemes, diri na belong si ang words ng lexical morphemes, ng mga words, open class words, no? Free morphemes sila that can stand alone as words. Meaning na ay gyud literal nga sense, no? To talk. Understandable enough what's the word nga talk, no? Unsa ang meaning ana nga word? Free morpheme that can stand alone. To talk, no? Sing. Self-explanatory. Unsa ang sing? Unsa ang talk? Free morpheme that can stand alone. Whereas a bound morphemes cannot stand alone as words. Kanang mga affixes. Affixes, prefixes, circumfixes, and suffixes. Kanang in, un, and ion, no? Kanang word nga situation, nag-add lang ka og sa word nga situate, and then mag-add lang ka og ion. Ang beautifying nga word, mag-add lang ka og ion. Beautification, meaning na apoy gi-add nga morphemes didto. Some morphemes are inserted to make changes in the grammatical categories. Again, these are the typology of morphemes. Lexical morphemes, open class words, grammatical morphemes, the closed class words. Free morphemes can stand alone. Bound morphemes cannot stand alone. Okay? Now, let's proceed sa inflectional versus derivational morphemes. As I said, morphemes are the smallest meaningful units of words or a language. Now, sa inflectional morphemes, there are only 8 inflectional morphemes in the English language. 8 lang kabuo. Okay? 8 inflectional morphemes sa English language lang. Okay? Inflectional morphemes, again, is from the word inflectional. No? Na ay morphemes nga nasagol sa root word. And what are those morphemes, sir? Mao ni sila. Sa inflectional morphemes. Ang inflectional morphemes sa English language, pila gani kabuok? 8. Mao lang ni sila. 8 lang yun kabuok. 8 lang yun kabuok sa English language so far. Okay? And then, ang English inflectional, mostly masakpan or ma-notice lang nato the last part of the word. First, if you add S, specifically if you add, by the way, there, kung asa ni mo siya i-add, naka-specify siya, no? Sa nouns, kung asa nga grammatical category ni mo gusto i-add. Okay? Ang S, mag-add lang ka, dapat sa noun. Okay? If you pluralize a word. For example, she has got 2 guitars. The noun there is she? Guitars. What's the lexeme of the word guitars? Guitar, root word mismo, nag-add lang og S. Unsa maning S tawag? Morpheme or inflectional morpheme. Another, possessive nga S. Ang possessive, timan ilang ninyo guys, ang possessive, always na naay apostrophe. Apostrophe and then S. And then, applicable to be added to nouns. For example, and before we proceed to the example, I'd like you to know that a possessive, from the word possess, no? Imong gitag-iya ang isa ka butang. Okay, you own. You try to own something. No, it's about the possession of a thing. No, possessive. Zainab's hair is long. Now, ang noun natong gihisgot diha is yes, noun si Zainab. But unsa man ang gitag-iyang ni Zainab nga gihisgot? Hair. Very good. Zainab possessed his hair. Okay? And then it also shows nga the hair that is mentioned in the sentence belongs to Zainab. Zainab's hair is long. Okay? Possessive always na ay apostrophe. Next, comparative. It is applicable only to adjectives. Adjectives meaning to say nag-beautify sa noun. Okay? Modifier, very good. Modifier of a noun is what we call adjectives. Okay? Ang ER, mag-add lang ka og ER sa end of the word. For example, Zainab has longer hair than Daria. Especially pag mag-compare ka. Okay? If you compare one thing to the other, you use comparative morpheme. Now, ang root word diha sa longer is long. Okay, mag-add lang ka og ER, longer compared to another thing. But if you compare one thing among all the things, superlative. Zainab has the longest hair. Taas pa ka nakapunsel siguro. No? Zainab has the longest hair. Add lang ka og EST. Remember nga, ang naay apostrophe din is si possessive lang. Okay? Now, si superlative, mauna ang example, Zainab has the longest from the root word or lexeme nga long plus EST, longest. Now, sa S pod nga third person, sa S nga third person singular, present tense. Okay. Applicable only to verbs. Let's have the example directly. Zainab plays the guitar. Present tense man daw and mag-add lang ka og S after the root word or the root word nga verb. Unsa man ang verb diha? Plays. Root word? Play. But singular man, the rule says, pag singular, mag-add ka og S. Zainab plays the guitar. Okay? Dili kung singular siya and then at the same time present tense. But if we proceed to past tense, ED ang i-add. Okay? Add lang ka og ED and it results as she played the guitar at the party. Past tense naman, played na. ING, progressive. Meaning to say, happening at the moment. Progressive siya. And it is applicable only to verbs also. She is playing the guitar at the party. Currently happening. She is playing the guitar. Now, sa past participle, naatay gitawag nga pinangyud ka past or past test, no? Ang gitawag nato. Pinaka-ulahig yun nga nahitabo. According to the tenses of verbs. She has taken the guitar or the past participle. I know you all are familiar with this in yung high school, no? If na minaw sa high school. She has taken the guitar to the party. Always partnered with has, no? Or have, or has. Depende sa subject. She has taken the guitar to the party. EN, take ang word. No? Nganong dili man double E, sir? Because again, orthography matters sa morphology. Dapat mo sunod sa spelling, o unsay spelling sa taken, Dili porket ang root word is take, mag-add ka og en, taken na noon na siya pagbasa. But again, orthography matters because it's one of the characteristics of a word. Now, these are the 8 inflectional morphemes sa English language. Okay? Inflectional morphemes, pag mag-add ka ng mga morphemes, the following morphemes are added sa root word or sa lexeme. Ang grammatical category or ang syntactic category remains the same. Meaning to say, from noun nga guitar, mag-add ka og s, noun gihapon. It's still noun. Guitars, plural lang siya, pero it's still a noun. That's the difference when we try to compare the inflectional morphemes to derivational morphemes. Ang derivational morphemes class, it is the formation of a new word from the word derived, no? Derivation is the formation of a new word from another word. Meaning to say, from the lexeme, na-change ang grammatical category and as well as the sense. Masabdanin ninyo pag mo abot na sa example. Sige. The derived word is often of a different word class from the original. It may thus take the inflectional affixes of the new word class. So, ang word, basically, pwede ka mag-add og morpheme and then ma-change ang grammatical category. Diba sa inflectional morphemes, na-change ang grammatical category? Waya. Na-change ba? Sa inflectional morphemes, katong 8 ka buok, 8 inflectional morphemes of the English language. Notice, mag-add ka og S sa word nga guitar. Ang guitar is, what grammatical category does it belong? Noun. What parts of... When I say grammatical category or syntactic category, I am referring to the part of speech. Noun, pronoun, verb, adverbs, adjectives. Mao na ang pasabot. That's the technical word. That's why I said nga, be familiar with the terminologies. Again, question. Na-change ba ang grammatical category? Na-change? Oh, wala. Nag-add lang ka og S sa word nga guitar. Guitar is, what syntactic category? Noun. Okay. Noun, gihapon, pag mag-add, maskin mag-add pa ka ng S. Noun, gihapon na siya. That's the definition of an inflectional morpheme or the 8 inflectional morphemes of the English language. Dili siya ma-change. That's the difference again sa derivational morphology. Derivational morphemes suggest nga the formation of a new word from another word, and the nature of the derivational morphology is that it changes the grammatical category. Okay? From noun to verb, noun to noun, noun to adjective, depende. Depende sa morphemes na ato i-add or i-remove. Okay? Now, derivation can be prefix or suffix. Naa sa unahan or naa sa ulahi. No? And as far as you can notice, there are infinite numbers. No? Infinite number or open-ended siya. Pwede ka mag-add sa ulahi, pwede po ka at the same time mag-add both suffix and prefix. Pwede po na. That's the definition of derivational morphology. Now, it can change the syntactic, and din ako laong, can change syntactic or grammatical category, sometimes affects sense positively or negatively. For example, unsa may pasabot nato sa sense, ang meaning, di ba? Ang meaning, ang sense. Ma-change daw siya sometimes if we add certain affixes or morphemes. Pre-board, ang say lexeme sa pre-board. Board, mag-add ka og morpheme nga pre. Ang board mismo na hitabo, mo ng board na exam. But if I say pre-board exam, wala, unsa may pre-board, pre. Wala pa. Before it happens. Na-notice niyo ang change of sense. Okay? Ang national, ang nation nga word diha, which is the lexeme, nation is a noun. National, Sa manang national? Noun or sometimes adjectives. Like, positive. Magdugang lang ka og prefix nga un or un. Unlike, negative na siya. Sige. Let's have these examples. Sa affixes class, let's go with the prefix. Okay? Prefix at magsugod. And the first example, first prefix here is the anti or anti. Okay? Anti, noun ang prefix or noun ang former word, and then pag mag-add ka ng anti, it's still a noun. Okay? We are talking about the same grammatical category here. Noun nga abortion. Positive or negative? Negative na word. Anti-abortion, it contradicts the negative, therefore it becomes positive. Very good. Ang DE or de na ano, na morpheme, verb nga activate, positive. Deactivate, negative na. So all the examples, no? All the point, the main point here is that ma-change ang sense even if it remains to the same grammatical category. Okay? Ma-change ang sense or ang meaning ng word, not necessarily the spelling, but also the meaning in and of themselves. Okay? Continue. Mag-add lang ka og this. Continue. Okay? Mag-add lang ka og ex, boyfriend. Boyfriend nga noun. Mag-add lang ka og negative ang boyfriend. Ex-boyfriend. Negative na. Boyfriend is, I don't know. Oh, sige, tapusan na lang nato. Ang complete, positive, incomplete, negative. Kay ex-boyfriend na, incomplete na. And then miss, ang place nga, it functions as a noun. Ang place, name of a place. No? Place, and it also functions as verb. Ang to place something. Misplace, mag-add lang ka og MIS or miss nga prefix or morpheme, may muna siya negative nga sense. Okay? Same with when you say understood, mag-add lang ka og MIS nga prefix, misunderstood. And sa un, no? Adjective to adjective gihapon, happy is a positive word plus the prefix un or un, it becomes a negative word, unhappy. Lock, unlock, charge, recharge. Now, sa prefixes pa na siya. Okay? Let's have the suffixes. Verb to noun. Verb to noun, it means na change ang grammatical category. Again, na change ang grammatical category. Please memorize the terms, ha? Okay, para dili mo malipat. Now, ang grammatical category nga verb na change into noun. How's that happen? How did that happen, sir? From the word nga govern, mag-add lang ka og suffix nga meant. Govern means to rule, no? To control. Government. And mag-add lang ka og meant, mahimo na siyang noun. Government na siya. Full, suffix nga full, ang cheer nga noun, no? Mahimo siyang adjective, cheerful. Cheerful ka nga pagkatao. From cheer, cheerful. And ly, verb to adverb. Almost many of the English words nga nag-end sa ly na belong sa grammatical category as adverbs. No? Not all of them, but most of them. Verb to adverb. Okay? Verb to adverb. Ang verb nga cheer, mag-add lang ka og ly, but nga no sir nga nung naamay I diha. Na I lagi sir pag mag-change ka ng grammatical category. Cheer, may mo siya cheer, man dili man cheerly. Man cheerily mang yun siya. Because if we have phonological conditioning, we have also morphological conditioning. That explains the changes of the spelling, especially sa irregular verbs. Okay? Sa irregular verbs nga, dili tanan verb, mag-add lang ka og ed, past tense na. There are other words in English language nga pag imuni mo siya past form, lain ang iyang spelling. That's the lexical or morphological conditioning. Are you still following? Okay. Now, the fourth one is the ness nga suffix. From the adjective nga sad, mag-add lang ka og ness. Sadness, may mo siya noun. Na-change ang grammatical category from verb to noun. En, fright nga noun. And you have to frighten, no? You have to frighten or you have to make somebody feel fear. Frighten, from noun to verb. Change ang grammatical category, again na change. Able, very very famous nga suffix, no? Si able. Laugh nga verb, laughable adjective. Okay? You always make me laugh because your face is laughable. Okay? Laughable. Notice ninyo ang changes sa grammatical category. Okay, very good. Make sure ha, kaya mo ni manggawa sa exam. I will make you break down words and morphemes sa exam. Paper and pencil exam. Kaya basin dyan na siya mag question mark dito sa ato, Flair, para sa phonology. No? Di ba yung mag-question mark sa ato quizzes? Oh, tag-bonus na nako to siya. Don't worry. Tanan question mark dito. Kutob sa question mark. Question nga na question mark. I thought manggod nga na wrong mo tungod kay wala mo nag-study, but again wala di ay symbols nga nakabutang dito. And then maski na ay symbols, wrong malagi gihapon. Dili ba gihapon ato enough nga reason, no? And then the concept here, the null or zero morpheme, okay? This explains the still spelling of the word, no? The unchanged spelling of the word. Morphemes or null or zero morpheme are morphemes that are not physically present in the word. Walay morphemes nga na-add, wala po'y morpheme, maskin single letter nga na-add yun, wala yun. Let's have the example, sheep. If pluralized, it's still sheep. No? Walay ed nga gi-add, walay en as past participle nga gi-add, it's still sheep. But again, the sense or the grammatical function changed. Just like sa atong research, di ba nag-agi mong research senior high school? Di ba there is what we call null hypothesis? No? Dili makita nga factor that affected the result. Di ba? Mao na. And then, ang morphology na po'y null or zero morpheme. Meaning to say, walay physical changes. Walay structural changes nga atong manotice. And then, ang word nga sheep, pag i-pluralize nato, sir, hindi man pwede sheeps. Pag past form, dili pwede lagi, sir, mag-add lang ka og ed. Sheep, sheeped. Dili man nga na mag... That's why we have lexical or morphological conditioning. Natagtawag nato. Na those changes or those differences, paminaw, those differences are just there because the linguistic rules say it so. Ingana ang yun ang nature sa linguistics. Now, the null or zero morpheme, for another example. So may example na to, pwede can anyone bring up an example sa null or zero? Let's have this one. Sige. Ang word nga read, no? Read. Present tense. Do you read? Nga na, word nga read. Uman dili man readed pag past form. Because again, there is such thing as zero or null morpheme. I always read a book every night. Last night, I read a book. Di na siya read, but it's pronounced as read. As in color red. Pag past form, gamiton sa sentence. But pag present form, read. Nganong dili man ma-change ang spelling? The structure or the physical representation, ang morph niya mismo, walay changes. Walay noticeable changes. It's because of this concept right here. Null or zero morpheme. Nasabtan ninyo? Okay. Another thing is empty morpheme. Unsa man pud ng empty morpheme? Notice ninyo sa word nga factual, no? What's the lexeme there? Fact. Again? Fact. The f and the a and the k and the t. Those phonemes. Fact. Dili na siya ha? A na siya. Fact. Fact. That's a fact. And then, empty morpheme, ang word or lexeme there is fact. Right? Fact plus al nga suffix or al nga morpheme. May mo siyag factual. Nganong na may u? Dili na siya, it's a bound morpheme, don't u, because it only serves as a grammatical function, no? Ang u diha wala siya bilang. Okay, wala na siya kwenta diha. But again, in morphology, it says in the rule, if you count the morphemes of a word, it always counts. It always counts, meaning to say, pila ka buok diha, morphemes ato dapat bilangon. Lexeme. Fact. 1. That's 1. And the letter U, counted bodily. Counted. Another morpheme. And the morpheme nga al or al. Tulo ka buok. Factual. From word nga noun, fact, and then into adjective, factual. Okay? Now, sa cheer kagain na nga word, no? Cheer nga verb into adverb, cheerily. Diba? Diba na ay, natingala mo nganong na ay. Diba? Ang cheer, dapat mag-add lang ka og ly, sir, adverb na siya. No, it doesn't work that way. Morphology works like this. Unsa pa? Word nga cheer, mag-add lang ka og I, and then before ka mag-add sa suffix nga ly. Nganong nga na mag yun? It's because there is what we call the empty morpheme or the lexical conditioning nga dapat nato i-consider when studying linguistics. And it's the same when we say, when we spell out John's situational nga word. No? The root word there or the lexeme there is situation. Situational. Okay? Situational. There's a difference because there is no empty morpheme present. Nalibog mo. But if I say nga i-spell out nato ang unsa pa word nga happy. How would you make it? Unsa man ang word happy? Unsa man ang grammatical category? Happy. Adjective. Okay? It modifies the noun. Modifier siya ng noun. I am or you are happy. Okay? Happy, pag himuon nato ng noun, happy gyapon? Happiness. Happy? Happy na pagkaon, laong? Amo ba? Happy na toothpaste? Ang happy nga word, sige. Happy, let's make it a noun. Happiness, di ba? Mag-add lang ka og ness, sir. Noun na siya. O, tag-correction na ako diretso ng kuan ng Microsoft. Because there is what we call lexical or morphological conditioning. And remember, one of the characteristics of a word is orthography. It matters, the spelling matters. Nganong kailangan magyud I sa cheerily idugang? Because again, that's how it spells as a word. Okay? And then, another example, ano sa mga example? I can't think of any example. Sa kadaghan, pusot-pusot sa akong mind, empty morphemes, daghan yun siya. Basta kay, you just have to understand the concept nga pag empty morpheme, no actual meaning, ang ma-change nga spelling, just like sa factual. From fact, pwede naman ka mag-AL, diretso, factal, di ay. It sounds unappealing, that's one, but it's not how it works yun sa English language, especially in linguistics. Allomorph, let's talk about, wala na pangutana sa null and empty morpheme. Excuse me. Null and empty morpheme, questions? Wala na. Let's proceed to the last concept of lesson 1. Lexical conditioning, the one responsible for the alteration is the lexeme. For example, oaks to oaksen. Singular nga oaks. Oakses, dili pwede. Oaksen dapat. Okay? That explains also the irregular verbs. Okay? Ang irregular verbs and also the null morphemes. This explains na atay morphological conditioning or lexical conditioning. Oaks to oaksen. Nganong di naman oakses if you just try to pluralize it. Because again, we have lexical conditioning. Questions sa lesson 1. None so far. Confusions. Diri always remember nga every word has these 3 characteristics. Lexeme, the root word, syntactic word, or orthographic word. Sometimes it's referred as the word paradigm. No? Ang pillar, characteristic, paradigm. Pag mo lang ito na pillar mo, haligig yun ba in education? Wala pa mo mag-adopt 2, no? Adopt 1 pa mo karon. Wala pa mo mag-adopt 2. In adopt 2, you will learn that being an educator requires to know ang mga haligi ng education. No? Not necessarily the people who are behind the theories, but also the concepts themselves. The philosophies of education. Dito ninyo sila masugat. Okay? And it's much more stressful than this one. Yes, it's much more difficult than linguistics because it lets you formulate your own philosophy of education. But, second sem siguro na ninyo. Second sem ba sa inyong prospectus? Anyway, sometimes called paradigm, pillars, characteristics of a word, moning tulo ka buok. Every word has a lexeme, syntactic word, orthographic word. Not every word, but most of the English language word. Okay? And then, sa lesson 2, wala naman more questions. I am hearing none so far. Sa lesson 2, we will talk about the word formation process. Okay? Word formation process or ang proseso yun sa pagbuo sa word. Unsa man ang mga words, asa man ang gikan, ang spelling, ang orthography, ang lexeme, asa man ang sila gikan, sir. Number 1 is from derivation. Okay? Ang derivation, again, nahisgutan nato kagaina, it's the change of grammatical category. Okay? It's a change of a part of speech from noun to verb, verb to noun, verb to adverb, verb to adjectives, all of those things. Derivation ang tawag ana. It involves the addition of a derivational affix, whether it be prefix, circumfixes, or suffixes. Changing the syntactic category, take note of the item to which it is attached. From the verb word nga orientation, derivation. One of the word processes, derivation. From verb to noun, same lexeme, new word and new syntactic or grammatical category. Now, ang category extension is the number 2. Category extension or functional shift. This one, class, paminaw, ang words din parehas lang ang spelling, parehas ang orthography. It's the same. However, lain-lain sila na function. Lain-lain sila na function. This involves the extension of a morpheme from one syntactic category to another. For example, ang word nga chair. Ang chair nga verb to chair a meeting, for example. Okay? The president was the chair of the meeting during the last session. Ingana. To chair, ang verb dyan, chair. There's also chair nga word nga noun. Ingkuan, chair. So, ang function is extended. That's why category extension ang tawag. Dili exclusive sa noun, but also it has the same spelling, but the meaning or the function exceeds to another syntactic grammatical category. Okay? Another is compound. No? Compounding ni siya, usahay. Compounding, also called as compound. This involves creating a new word by combining two free morphemes. Ang free morphemes, again, it can stand alone. Independent sila. Okay? This involves creating a new word by combining two free morphemes, meaning to say two independent or open class words. Break and fast. Name mo siya, breakfast. Okay? Break and fast. Now, asa man siya gikan? Our former lecturer before, sa review center na mo, she was a science major. He said nga, pag tulog manggod ka, you are literally and scientifically fasting. That's why pag matani mo, you are breaking your fast. Breakfast ang tawag. And then, another example is rainbow. Ang break diha nga word, nag-exist sa dictionary. Right? It's a free morpheme. Break. Literally, i-break yun nimo. And then, the word fast. Another word nga nag-exist pod sa dictionary. Na lexeme, na orthography. Correct. And then, itibo na nimo sila mo na compounding. Breakfast. Another, rain. Nag-exist sa dictionary? Wala. Rain. Nag-exist po ning si bow. Rainbow. And we have 3 different kinds of compounding. Number 1 is open compound. Okay? Open compound, for example, towel rack, na space. One word again, but na space. Towel rack, black eye, and then common sense. There's also what we call close compound. These are the words nga, 2 words siya pero nagpikit. Just like the example, breakfast, rainbow, no? Mo ni example sa close compound. Nagtapad sila ang 2 free morphemes. Everywhere, footprint, playground, and so on and so forth. Hyphenated, this is, of course, hyphenated. Mga words nga hyphenated. Short term, free for all, far-fetched, and countless of examples that you can find in the internet. But it's called as hyphenated. Again, these 3 are parts of compounding sa word formation. Number 4 is root creation or coinage. No? It is a brand new word based on no pre-existing morpheme. Wala yung nag-pre-exist nga word. It just happens nga in history na ay brands, no? Branding ba? Branding. Usahay referred to as branding ang root creation because we form words from brands. Magpa-Xerox ko. Xerox is not actually a verb. It's a brand sa Xerox machine, dapat na siya nga brand. But then we adapted sa word, we adapted sa brand, and we often use magpa-Xerox instead ng magpa-photocopy. Xerox ang atong tawag. Xerox brand man na siya. Di man na word. Pero na-adapt na to because there is such thing in morphology happening nga root creation. Magpa-Kodak ko. Di ba mga tiguyang? Oy, magpa-Kodak ta. Dito ta sa Lunita. Oh, magpa-Kodak ta. Smile pag magpa-Kodak ta, ha? And then Kodak is actually a camera brand. And people refer to as Kodak. Magpa-picture di ay. Because Kodak is associated with the camera or the item nga magpicture, no? A thing that captures the moment is called or is branded as Kodak, and people try to associate the brand to the word. Okay? Kleenex, no? Karang brand sa mask, brand sa disinfectants. Unsa pa may example? So may example sa word root creation. Pampers. John Pampers. Pagpalit dito ng Pampers, o man na Pampers, John EQ. Napkin is a word. Napkin is a word. But pag mulang ko na modest, maski nang imo pasabot kay ano may line brand sa diapers nga man tao man nag-napkin man ta. Pampers ang ilaong sa tindahan, palit ta Pampers na EQ. Duha na ka brands ang na brought up. Pero ang pasabot di ay nato, diaper di ay. Okay? But people often again associate the word Colgate. Oh, John, Colgate. Imbis kay toothpaste, palit ta Colgate. O man na Colgate. John Happy. Ay. Oh, diyan ba jaga doon, no? Morphology finally explained that phenomena or that phenomenon because again, root creation or coinage is part of the word formation process. Unsa man, daghan kayo, di ba? Daghan kayo. And then the number 5 there, clipped form or clipping. Ang clipped form or shortening or clipping class, a shortened form of a pre-existing morpheme without changing the syntactic or grammatical category. Meaning to say, wala gyud ma-change ang grammatical category. May I have your attention, please? Onya na ng attendance. Okay. Ang clipped form, clipping or shortening, mo na gitawag nato nga pag-shorten, literal shortening of a word. From word nga brazier, nahimo siya bra. From word nga taxi cab, taxi na lang. Clipped form or clipping siya. Okay? Yes. Ang tagikanan dyan na word sa ijo bra, brazier dyan. Di dyan kung brazier dyan. Are you wearing braziers right now? Or it does not necessitate for you to wear braziers? Okay. Kidding aside, basta kay wala ma-change ang grammatical category, mo ni timan iha, wala ma-change ang grammatical category from brazier, noun, bra, noun gyapon siya. Okay? Mo ni gitawag nato na clip form. Another is taxi, no? From taxi cab nga noun, taxi, noun gyapon. Noun gyapon. Political science, pol sci, noun gyapon siya. Kindergarten to kinder. O, dyan. Clip form ang tawag. Next one is blend. A combination of parts of two pre-existing forms, just like the fog plus the smoke, smog. Breakfast plus lunch, brunch. Actually, nag-exist na siya sa dictionary. Dyan, brunch. Na word. And then, it's the blend word formation that explains that kind of linguistic phenomenon. Okay? 7th is the acronym. Excuse me. 7th is the acronym. Okay? Ang acronym class, it is a word formed from the first letters. Di ba? Familiar na sa acronyms. Di ba? Acronym ng Northeastern Mindanao Colleges, NEMCO. Acronym siya, take note. Acronym, pag readable. Pag mabasa, NEMCO. Pag mulong kita na SNSU, is it still an acronym? SNSU, Surigao del Norte State University. It's called initialism. Okay? Initialism ang tawag pag dili mabasa. Pero pag mabasa gani, NEMCO. Acronym na siya. Okay? Abbreviation. Abbreviation also, familiar na mo ini, but it's not what you think. Word formed from the names of the first letters, no? First letters, take note of the prominent or dominant syllables of the word. Not necessarily the first letters yun, but the dominant letters of the word. Let's have the word television. TV. Ang dominant nga words nga television. TV. Nganong dili man TL, sir? Okay? TL. Again, unya na ng attendance, please. I'm begging you. Unya na ng attendance. Focus lang sa discussion today. Okay? Tonight. Television, prominent ang syllables or ang letters diha na letter T and V. TV. Prominent syllables of a word. Another is Mr. Nganong dili man MT, sir? Because again, the dominant syllables there are M and R. The dominant letters, the M and the R. Mr. Television and Mr. TV and Mr. Ninth is... Yes. Mrs. because it's from the word nga M-I-S-S-U-S. Mrs. Nganong na R? Lexical conditioning. Mag-add ka, sometimes there are letters that's removed, just like sa happiness. Just like sa cheerily, nag-add ka, and sa happiness, nag-remove ka ng Y, substituted by letter I. Again, orthography matters. It's how it's spelled. Questioning skeptically is beyond our comprehension. Nganong ana? Because one of the characteristics of language from our lesson 1, language is arbitrary. Some words are still, the origin of the words, some of the words are still unknown up until now. Nganong bangko man siya tawag? Nganong misis man nga na may R? Because language is arbitrary. Okay? It just so happens, it is spelled that way, and thus we must follow. Sabtan. Okay. Ang proper name pod or eponymy, this one is very interesting, no? Ang proper name nagikan gyud siya sa proper name gyud mismo, name of a person. This process forms a word from a proper noun or name of a place of a person. Okay? Ang example here is hamburger. This one is, I think, from famous food na siya from Hamburg, Germany. That's why it's called hamburger. Gikan siya sa specific place or proper noun. Sandwich. There was this guy from England, no, who liked to eat bread, 2 slices of bread, and then a meat in the middle of it. Sandwich ang tawag. From Earl of Sandwich. Yes, ang main point, gikan sa proper noun. Proper noun, name of a thing, or name of a place, or name of a person. Proper noun na siya. Hamburger. From sandwich, atong akong giingon, America, name of a person na siya. Okay? And then Philippines, from King Philip. Basically, proper name yun siya literally means from a proper noun. Proper noun, dagko permi ng capitalized permi ang first letter pag proper noun. Okay? Folk etymology. Timan nilang ang folk etymology, guys. This process forms a word by substituting a common native form for an exotic form with a similar pronunciation. Para mas dali ninyo masabtan, ang folk etymology, mo na ang words nga naglisod pag-pronounce ang nag-adapt ato nga word. Let's have this one, no? Kukurat siya ng cockroach from a Spanish word. But it's difficult for the Americans to pronounce this word or the English speakers to pronounce this word. Name mo siya cockroach. Kukurat siya. Yes, kukuratsa na siya sa una. Folk etymology. Always remember, always remember na ang folk etymology, native word ng isa ka place. Na-adapt into something, na-adapt into some place. Basically, lisod siya i-pronounce. But pagka-adapt sa word, okay na siya. From kukuratsa to cockroach. Okay? Now, the back formation. I think this is the last one. Back formation. Back formation is a word formed by removing what is mistaken for an affix. Okay? Dili na siya affix pag muingon tag, teacher to teach. Back formation. From the word noun, teacher, into teach. Nagkuha lang ka og affixes. Okay? Back formation po ng tawag pag moingon kag supervisor into supervise. Okay? Supervise, na basically na murag ni-rewind gani ang word na nakuhaan gamay. But don't confuse this one sa, unsa pa to? Na ay confusing parts, ani. I think sa compounding or sa root creation or sa clipped form. Dili mo ma-confuse angay din kay sa clipped form, guys, parehas ra ang grammatical category or syntactic category. Noun gihapon pagkuhaan nimo ang brazier, mayon siya bra, noun gihapon siya. Okay? And then sa difference nila pag abot sa back formation, na change na dire ang grammatical category. For example, teacher, noun. Teach na, verb na lang siya. Nasabtan ninyo? Okay. That's the difference. Okay? You should always know the difference. Let's proceed to the context clues. But before we proceed to that, questions muna sa word formation processes. Wala na confusions, concerns, clarifications? Who would like to add examples? Wala na? Context clues. Let's talk about this one because it is included in your compendium na kailangan gid siya itudlo sa first year English majors. Context clues and vocabulary building. Context clues are words or phrases in the text acting as clues to the meaning of a difficult term in the selection. Meaning to say, there is a sentence or a phrase there that will help you understand the difficult word within the sentence. This vocabulary building strategy involves the whole text plus the personal experience of the reader. For example, you cannot easily change the stand of an obdurate person. From the first phrase, you cannot easily change. Meaning to say, ang obdurate person, na mo'y idea kung unsa na nga kind of person. You cannot easily change the stand of an obdurate person. Mas masabtan siya if you understand the whole statement. Okay? Question. What can you say about a person who does not welcome change? Unsa man day pasabot ana? Unsa nga word? Ang obdurate person. Obdurate person. Naa na siya gitawag nga context clue or hints, no? Within a statement or within a sentence. You cannot easily change the stand of an obdurate person. Unsa man diay ng obdurate person nganong dili man siya ma-easily change. No, na naka-idea. Inga na mag-context clues. Inga na magamit ng context clues. Literally, you find clues out of the context that are being presented. Another, the answer to that is this is not flexible. No, obdurate means not flexible. Dili siya maka-stand easily sa changes. Naanadaan diha ang answer. Okay? Naanadaan. Nga na ang context clue. Another, the strong wind will make your hair appear scraggly. Di ba pag naailisod nga vocabulary na ito ma-encounter, sometimes we look at the composition of the sentence. No? Na, giun sa man paggamit ang word, maybe I can help in making myself understand that kind of a difficult word. No? The strong wind will make your hair appear scraggly. So naa day strong wind. So basically, pag na strong wind, naapoy hair. It will make your hair. Scraggly means not orderly. Gubot na yung buhok tungod sa wind. Nga na mag-context clues. Okay, you find clues within the sentence. Okay, untidy katanawon, disheveled katanawon. Scraggly means irregular, unkept, disorderly. Kanang buhok ninyo, pag mo pa mamata, scraggly kayo. Okay? Especially sa females, no? And vocabulary, let's have this one para mas masayo kita pag-uli, no? Vocabulary, mo tong context clue ha. Vocabulary is a set of familiar words. Of course, familiar na mo sa vocabulary. Ginoo ko. Vocabulary ninyo. Words that are stuck in your minds, ang inyong mga baon nga words, no? Your vocabulary. Okay? If there are such vocabularies. Naa ba? Mga nakastock nga vocabulary sa inyo ha? Hopefully. Naa. Unsa man? Di ba sa mga kategoyangan, we often hear this saying, wala gyud na sa akong vocabulary. Di ba? Muinga na sila. And then I also remember my parents, muinga na po sila pag-express. And they use that idiomatic expression to refer nga wala na sa ako ang prior knowledge. Wala na nakastuck sa ako. It's not my principle to say that. And there are tiers of vocabulary. No? There are 3 tiers that vocabulary can be placed into. Basic vocabulary. Basic and simple words. Mura siyang hierarchy of vocabularies. No? Hierarchy meaning there are certain levels na paggamit nato sa mga words. Basic vocabulary, like early reading words, adjectives, verbs, or nouns, they typically only have a single meaning. Katong table, chair, basic words, basic vocabulary. High frequency vocabulary naman, this tier is also sometimes called multiple meaning vocabulary. Ang isa ka word na may multiple meanings. Sige. These words are also important for reading comprehension. Used for direct instructions and maybe descriptive. Just like sa word nga chair, kagaina. If your vocabulary is extended into high frequency vocabulary, therefore masabtan nimo nga not every chair nga word is literal nga lingkuranan yun. Third one is low frequency vocabulary. High frequency, sometimes dili nimo mabagtan ang mga words nga more than one meaning, yes, but sa low frequency, the difference is these are words that are only used for a particular topic. Depende lang sa setting. Okay? So they may be called topic vocabulary. Sometimes they are called topic vocabulary. And a child's low frequency vocabulary might encompass topics like the weather or geography. Technical terms. No? Sa geography, and then sa medicine, sa education, engineering, no? In law, there are certain words there na low frequency lang ang ginagamit nato. Gitawag siyang low frequency because it's almost impossible for regular people to bring those words into conversation. Maingon ba ka sa inyong boarding house nga, actually, the motivation for this day is all about the weather that I saw outside. And then, the proper motivational activity should be, ngayon na di kasi inyong boarding house? Dili man. Dili pod ka mo ingon nga, okay, my pulse is just like this. I feel like normal. My heart rate is normal. And I feel like it's good to go to the bathroom. Ingan na di ay. Dili. Okay? It's not how it works. There are types of vocabularies. Sige. Types of vocabulary. Speaking vocabulary consists of the words that we can speak aloud. Muna yung mga words nga atong masulti the moment that we speak. Unsa man na mga words, sometimes we use difficult words or unusual words nga atong ginagamit sa conversational nato nga pagstorya sa atong friends, neighbors, and families. Depende po sa setting. Because sometimes if mag-speech ka sa stage, for example, in a formal setting, dili po ka mo use og mga basic words. Sometimes you use idiomatic expressions just to spice up your speech, no? Containing around 5,000 to 10,000 words. These words are used for communicating and giving instructions. Speaking, akong iingon pag magpa-activity, through speaking. No? Nagamit kong vocabulary through speaking. I'm using a vocabulary right now through speaking because I'm lecturing. And then, listening, you can also gain or improve your vocabulary through listening. Pagpaminaw. If I say that our vicissitudes as students determine our hypocrisy and the idiosyncrasy of our first-year English majors, if you suddenly search for those words or willfully search for the meanings of those words, you will actually notice that you are learning vocabularies through listening. This is what I improved way back in my college years. Na I was a terrible student yun before. From elementary to high school, junior high school to senior high school. Hatsag yun tanan grado. Nga na. Almost all, not every grade. Because naaidag ko na akong ang grado before sa MAPE lang and sa values education. Kay exempted man, kay sa sports man na. And then, I took advantage of those grades. But pag abot na ako sa college, no, everything changed. I decided to change everything in my life. Inga na gyud kadali, abrupt ang changes. I want to be articulate. I want to speak clearly. I want to be a sharp-minded person. Nainga na ng mga mindset. And then, what I did is, until now, I'm doing it, I listen to movies, podcasts. I listen how they pronounce. Not everything you learn, man good, is you learn from the book. Diba? Sometimes from experience, yun na siya. If you spend your time scrolling mindlessly through TikToks, using useless videos, di yun mo mag-improve. Telling you frankly. But if you use your time wisely, mangita mo movies, English episodes, nga gana yun pagka-pronounce, mga agent na mga movie, doon. Ganahan ako doon. G.I. Joe na movie. Marvel movies, I'm also a fan of I'm a huge Marvel fan. Kinsa Marvel fan? Marvel fan? Favorite Marvel hero? Kinsa man? Spider-Man? Unsay power ni Spider-Man? Disney? Disney movies. Basically, every English movie that will help you be articulate, it's a good investment yun to watch those movies. Pag naamoy free time lang, ayaw mo pangita karon ka nagklase ta. The main point here is you can learn words, the meanings of those words. You can improve your vocabulary through watching films, no? Educational films. Documentaries, mangita pod mo ana. Usahay ra unsa may pangitaon di ay? KMJS. Naay mga international documentaries bitaw, naay nga na. Kaya if you don't use your brains manggod, if you are in your at the comfort of your homes, no? Tayaon inyong huna-huna, tayaon. And dili na magamit inyong brain cells, kay nag-scroll na lang, ngita na lang umukbang. Continuously, please improve your vocabulary. I do not forgive myself manggod sa una if I come across a word and then palabyon ra nako. Kung wala ko kasabot na i-search gyud na. And that's the advice that everyone should implement. Nga pag maka-encounter ka ng word, puluhuan mo ka mo search. Hindi, kung naabaw mo yung Merriam-Webster Dictionary sa inyong cellphones, How often do you open that application? Depende. Essay nga magamit, no? I also had this habit nga maglantaw gyud kog di ba maka-encounter man gyud kag words, no? Every day. Pag naa ko'y words nga malisuran, adto ko automatically sa thesaurus. Synonyms, gamit kayo. Reading. This one, reading. Our reading vocabulary is how many words we can understand. Excuse me. How many words we can understand when reading. Okay? Reading is also the main way to build and grow vocabulary. This is one of my activities before also. I damaged my eyesight because I read e-books. I read, pero dili kong kuan ha, dili kong unsa na. Wattpad, dili. I download sources from the internet. Tag-trace man ako ang history ng literature before, from the English literature to American to Afro-Asian literature to Philippine literature, tanan novels. And then, ang nakadaot sa mata is electronic reading. I suggest kung namoy kwarta, mag-invest mo sa books. I have books sa balay, pero gamay lang kay. Mahirap lang kami. Okay, wala ko ika-afford. And then, what I did was I scrounged for the information from the internet, and then naay mga e-books na free ra i-download. So, makabasa gyapon ka without you spending money. Bottom line, reading improves. Reading is the only way to improve your vocabulary aside from or apart from listening. Or apart from, yes, listening. Writing, our writing vocabulary is determined by the words we can spell and use correctly in context. People's writing vocabulary is typically smaller than their speaking or listening vocabulary, which is why it's essential to work on it and keep learning new words. When we try to learn a word, it's effective daw if we try to write it. Di ba? Mas kinsay ganahan dire mag-study and at the same time mag-study sila, mag-take down ng notes. Di ba? Mas effective because vocabulary learning is composed of the following, and the final one is writing. Writing, formulating mo imong thoughts, brought up ni mo, jot down ni mo imong thoughts, and it's clear also na if you learn a single word, especially if you use it through your essays, no, assignments, short response questions, mas ma-retain yun sa imong hunahuna. Okay? Writing, one of the channels we can use our vocabulary. Unsa man mga skills ang ato pag-build sa atong vocabulary di ay. Number one is synonyms, no? Use words other than said, nice, good, or bad. We've all heard that, right? Using synonyms is a solid way for children to expand beyond their basic vocabulary. Don't just settle for the common nga mga words. Sometimes, spice up your speech or write-ups, no? Sometimes, open that application called Merriam-Webster sa inyong cellphone and try to look for the synonyms. That's one way of improving or building the skills of your vocabulary. Using synonyms. Root words, prefixes and suffixes. Katong imbis na mag-use ra ka og boyfriend nga word, my ex-boyfriend, no, na kay na build up nga another word coming from the help of root words or prefixes and suffixes. Imbis nga nation ra, national, imbis nga situation lang, situational, you have enriched your vocabulary through using that kind of thing. Dictionary and thesaurus. Very similar sa ako ang gihiskot kagaina. Reading, of course, repetition, repetition, repetition. Practice makes perfect. Sometimes it does not. You have to repeat doing the thing if you want to be great at that specific thing. You want to be another articulate person, you want to be a well-spoken individual, set a time every day to read, set a time every day to practice your speech. That's the technique. Repetition, repetition, and repetition. Okay? It takes 90 days. Scientifically speaking, it takes 90 days to not get rid of a certain habit. If you wake up every single day for 5 a.m. straight, flat out, 90 days yun, walay absent, you cannot remove that habit from the rest of your life. 90 days, kaya na siya, 3 months. Kung makaya, do not eat a certain food for 90 days, di na yun ka na maghanap after 90 days. Scientifically proven, does not apply to everybody, but it applies to the majority. No? And it discusses the repetition. Same with words. If you try to master vocabulary, na kay Thesaurus sa imong dictionary, use your tiny little gadgets for educational purposes only. Estudyante pa man, wala pa man mo ipakian ng mga dapat dili mo mag-spend ng too much time social media. Spend time in improving yourselves, especially as educators, especially as English majors, because sa ako na-taken na board exam lately, wala in the 4 years of making first year to fourth year, walay ni isa na konsepto na nigawas sa board exam. Out of this world, gajud ang tanan question. And then, that shows nga even sa ako ang mga efforts before, I am a very hardworking, not to mention, hardworking student. I read, I learn words, but there are words yun, yung wala pa na ako maingkwento sa tibok na ako kinabuhi. And that's normal. That just shows how little I know and how little we know about a concept. That tells nga we should always strive for the best of our ability to improve and to hunger for more. Dili masatisfy dapat sa learnings. Naka-learn na kami ng morphology, I'll stop and just sleep at my boarding house. Okay na siguro ni nga day. No! Read more. Listen more. That's one way of improving. That's actually, if not mentioned, one of the best ways of improving yourselves. Our generations, our future generations need us. So please don't be a liability. Okay? Questions, concerns, clarifications? Wala na? Okay. That's it for our morphology, module 3. Hopefully, I convinced you, no? I inspired you to study more, and also I inspired you to study morphology itself, because again, as English majors, mao ni dapat atong Biblia gyud. Okay? No more questions, hearing and seeing none so far. You are now dismissed. Thank you.